Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm here with a different video, and in today's video we have an HP Omen laptop. This one is an HP Omen 15 DC series laptop. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to open it up and how you can do your own service or maintenance for this one. It's been more than 1 year that you haven't opened up and is overheating or is crashing or something like that, in this video is for you. So I'm gonna take step by step showing you guys how to open it up, how to take it apart, the motherboard and the heatsink, and how to repaste and how to clean it, and the tools that you're gonna be needing. So let's go over the tools. First thing first, you need lots of working towel. So these are the working shop towels. I'll leave the link in the description. You need a few of these ones, and the most important one is an alcohol. 90% alcohol. I'll leave the link in the description. And the main one would be an opening tool and screwdriver set. I'll leave the link in the description for this tool set. This is iFixit tool set. They come with just a screwdriver set, and they come with an extended opening tools and pliers and everything else. So, but for now, let's use this one. If you wonder what it comes in the other set, it's pretty much this one's here. They give you all the tweezers, opening tools, everything else you need to ground yourself, and some suction cup, everything. Alright, if you don't have this set and you only want to buy this one, I'll recommend this one. For the opening tools, I'm going to use a guitar pick. This is a metallic guitar pick. These are same thing as the opening tool that they provide, but without the handle, pretty much. Alright, let's get into it. First thing first, you're going to be using Phillips number 1 screwdriver. Okay, so grab the bit number 1 Phillips and go ahead and remove all the screws. The two mid-back screws here, these are the longest ones, so go ahead and remove these ones first. And then go ahead and remove two on one side and two on the other side, and two on the front. These are the same size screws, so don't worry about mismatching these ones. Alright, once you open it up, you remove the screws, you want to grab your guitar pick and you want to stick it right almost by this ventilation on the side, between the top and the bottom cover right there, just about a tiny bit. Okay, and what you want to do, you just want to twist it a little bit. You want to just bring the bottom cover up. Do this all around, to the front, to the sides. You want to hear those clicks, and once you go to the back, and that's it. Now once you have the front and the side, you can just wiggle it around and it should release itself. There's a few clips that they need to get loosened, so you might have to do a little more moving around. Alright, there's a surprise. Look at this. This is what happens when you don't do your own service. So, you wonder why it's overheating. How do you expect it to cool down with all this dust, everything in here? So even the CPU side and the GPU end, they are both filled with that dirt. So we're gonna start removing and cleaning out all this. Alright, number 1, let's go ahead and remove the battery by removing 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Alright, now just lift up the battery and pull it forward. Next, go ahead and peel off this cover right here. Has a little adhesive tape right to it. Let's start by removing this shield right here over the fan. So go ahead and remove this screw right here. The screw right over here. And here. Now you can go ahead and lift up this shield. Actually, we have to remove this back cover first, so I forgot. So remove the 3 screws right here. There's one more hidden right in the corner. Go ahead and remove this corner one too. Now grab this shield and just pull it up and pull it towards the back end. And this will release the cover. There's a cover and there's the shield to keeping the fan in place. Let's do the same thing on this side. Remove this screw right all around. But on this side there's a flex cable that comes right over. This is the power jack cable. So you gotta untangle this jack right here first. Just untangle it right there. And you can just pull it backward and the jack will come out. Alright, detach the fan cable just by pulling it up. The one over here, just by pulling it up. Now let's go ahead and remove this cover by pulling it backward and removing the cover. Alright, next you just grab the shield right here and lift it up and pull the cable out of it. And go ahead and remove the screws for the fan, the 2 screws on this end. We can go ahead and lift up this Kapton tape or this protection tape right here just by peeling it off. You can replace it with the aluminum tape. Okay, and you can pull out the fan backward. And you can see everything in there that is the air duct, everything is blocked. And as you can see, all the ducts, everything in here is blocked, so we have to go ahead and clean up the whole thing. Alright, let's do the same thing on this side. Remove the tape. Pick up the fan and pull it backward a little bit. Same thing. And this one is worse than the other one, so I don't know which one is better. Right, now we're going to remove the 4 screws on the GPU and 4 screws on the CPU. Let's start with the CPU. Now go ahead with the GPU. Now you can go ahead and lift up the heatsink. Hold it from the nearby the GPU and the CPU. And we can see this one has a different. This is the first time I see a white thermal paste on here. So it looks like it's being cleaned and it's being reapplied, so it could be a refurbished. So because I saw a screw head that it was really bad, I'm guessing that they refurbished this one somehow, somewhere. Anyway, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this to one side. We're gonna clean up the CPU and the GPU with an alcohol. So grab your alcohol, soak it in your towel with the alcohol, soak it in, and start rubbing right on the GPU and the CPU. All you need to clean the die of the CPU, you don't have to go all around it, everything. As long as you clean the die, you're perfectly fine. And you can grab a toothbrush and go ahead with a can of air or air compressor and clean up around. You don't want to change the thermal pads on the VRAM. That's unnecessary. Don't change them. Leave them the way it is. As long as you don't overclock them, you're perfectly fine. So don't go ahead and change the thermal pads. If you want to change them, they're 0.3 and 0.5 millimeters. So the VRAMs and the coils right here, these are the 0.3 millimeters, and this voltage regulators at the back, these are 0.5 to 0.6 millimeters. And there are a few more, these ones over here, these are for the coil and for the power regulator for the CPU. The bottom one is a 0.3, the 0.3 on the bottom row, and on the top row it's 0.4 millimeters. Alright, I'm just gonna grab my toothbrush and we're just gonna clean up the whole heatsink, and with an alcohol we're gonna clean up the old thermal paste, and I'll be back. Now that I clean up the around the fan on the base, I clean up with the air compressor. I put the link in the description, the air compressor that I use. and also we cleaned up nicely the heatsink, and the only thing that I am left to clean up here is the old thermal paste. And again, we can do that by alcohol, and there's a trick that I'm going to show you guys for cleaning this thermal paste. First, we're going to remove the old thermal paste, and you're going to see this copper shim, the copper plate right here. They're kind of dirty, and it looks like a clean, but there's no kind of oxidization, let's call it. And there's a tiny layer on top that is going to prevent the heat to transfer nicely. So what I'm going to suggest you guys do to grab a solution for copper cleaning solution. And you're going to use a really tiny amount of this one. Just going to grab a piece of working towel, and you want to soak it in there, and you want to bring it over, and you just want to just rub it over. Look at the difference. Now this is just the pure copper showing, so the effect on this one is going to be much better. If you pay attention on this one here, there's a tiny defect on this one. There's a, I don't know, there's a tiny bump, not a bump, I'm guessing it's not super flat, because I see the same mark in here that is right on the CPU is implanted right in there. So I don't know what is causing this one, so it could be a defect. Let me know in the comment if you guys have the same issue. Alright, once we clean this one, we're not gonna use this anymore. You wanna grab your new thermal paste. I'm using an Arctic MX4. You're gonna put a tiny line over the CPU, just like that. One drop right in the middle of the GPU, just like that. That's more than enough to spread around. Now what you want to do, you want to grab the heatsink and you want to bring it over, align it, and bring it down. Once you put it down, don't lift it up again, because otherwise you're going to create lots of air bubbles. So put the 4 screws, put one screw on this side, and then put another screw right all the way to this end. So that way you're keeping the balance on the thermal paste. So there's a numbers on beside them. Don't go with the numbers, just cross screw them to one corner, then do the other corner, and the next, and so on. Once you did the corners, the middle ones, doesn't matter the order that you go through. Alright, now that we got the heatsink in place, we're gonna grab the fans that we cleaned up. The right fan is stick it right underneath, bring it on, and grab the other fan, slide it right underneath. You have to move around a little bit to get it in there. There you go. They're using this shield right here to cool down the NVMe drive right here, so this is nice. Alright, put the 2 screws for this side of the fan. Alright, I forgot to clean up this one, so go ahead and clean up the shield. So this shield, remember the cable has to go through here, over, and then you want to bring it down right on top of the fan, and you want to locate it right nice and snugly right there. Run the cable for the power jack, and then slide the jack in place, push it all the way to the jack, grab the fan cable, connect it and plug in right in, just push it in. Now we're going to do the same thing on the right side bracket. So grab the right side bracket, there's no cable in here, so it goes just like this. Align it right on top. Before you do that, just go ahead and plug in the cable for the fan cable right there, push it in. and put it right on top. Go ahead and put the screws. The screw right here. Put that one over there. The screw right in here. And this is screw right over here. No, you need to put the shield. So grab those tiny shields. So this one's like you put the back end down first, and then you bring it over. Put it right there and bring it over, and then it should lock in place. And put the 3 or 4 screws right here, the flat ones right by on the top, and the last one is in the corner, the hidden one. Same thing on the right side. Right, now we've got the right side, so put the screws for the right end, the white one in the corner, and the flat ones in the middle, and the last one is right over here. Now we're gonna grab the battery, put the back end of the battery down first. So this side, the front end, is slided right underneath. There's a tiny hinges, and then bring it over and just plug in push it down towards the motherboard, and put the 4 screws for it. All right, now we are almost done. Now we're not gonna put these 30 tapes right in here. You don't need to put them. There's no need at all. If you want to, but you can just put it. You can put an aluminum tape, foil tape in there, or just put it's gonna help for dissipating the heat even a little bit better. So it's not gonna actually make any difference. So grab another cut right there. Grab it from here. I'll leave the link in the description. You can just place it on top. The only reason they put this one in here is to direct, so the air goes underneath through the fans, so it doesn't escape from the top side. And the aluminum tape does the job better than the other one, and actually helps to conduct the heat even a little bit better. So there we have it. Now the last thing is to put the shielding on the VRAMs. So this goes right here, and it goes right over there. You can put a tiny glue gun right here, the adhesive tape, but you can just reuse it. Alright, and the last part is to grab the bottom cover. I also clean it up with a toothbrush and blow the air through the filters, and bring it right over, locate it right here, and then push the corners. Make sure you hear those clicks. And in the middle a little bit to the sides and to the back middle. If you see any gap, just pinch it and it will just snap right in place. Alright guys, I hope this video helped you guys out and you did your own service. And if you liked it, click that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And if you guys subscribe, it will be a really great help. And the reason that we put an aluminum tape and they're using this plastic one here, you see this, the aluminum tape is showing underneath. If you don't like that this thing is showing, if you look directly, and I don't think you're gonna use your laptop upside down anyways, you have to put the scotch Super 33 Plus. This one is really tough. They can handle a lot of heat, and they are even a little bit better than these ones over here. So if you don't like to see this aluminum color, use the tape. But if you want a little bit more help, leave the aluminum tape in there. And that's your decision. Alright, and the last thing is to put the 2 longest screws at the back, and the rest are the same size. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.